All right, what is up, guys? I want to make a quick video talking about a fight that happened last night. An influencer boxing match put on by Adin Ross at his Brand Risk 15 event. It was Larry Wheels versus Vitaly, however you say it. I'm going to say Vitaly. I have no clue who he is. He is not a fighter. I have read that he's a streamer and social media influencer. I am very familiar, on the other hand, with Larry Wheels. Obviously, I like to lift weights and stuff, so obviously I'm familiar with Larry Wheels. He's one of the strongest guys on the planet with some of his deadlifts, squats, and bench presses and stuff. And they had a fight last night that was a 3-round heavyweight boxing fight at the co-main event of Brand Risk 15, like I said, put on by Adin Ross. And I got to say, I watched the highlights of the fight last night, even though there wasn't much highlights. It was like 1.5 minutes long. It was not a minute fight. It was not a very long fight. Larry did tear his right bicep. I'm going to show you some pictures here in a minute. But I do want to say, for the minute and a half or barely over a minute, it was about a minute and 10 seconds. For the minute and 10 seconds it did go and they were actually fighting, I was not impressed by Larry Wheels like, oh my God, he might be legit. I was impressed of how composed Larry Wheels was. He had a good jab. He had a good right, a straight right down the pipe. So I was impressed that he did as well as he did. He was a lot bigger than Vitaly. Vitaly weighed in at 196.8 pounds, and Larry Wheels weighed in at 244 pounds. So give or take, he's 50 pounds bigger than Vitaly, and obviously looking at Larry, it's all muscle, but that did not go in his favor this time. But like I said, I was impressed how composed he was. He had good boxing form. He stayed tight, had a good jab, had a good 1-2. That much was impressive for who he is and his zero experience in boxing. But I did read that he dropped weightlifting completely the last couple months and strictly trained for this fight, his cardio, his boxing. And I know he's been doing some grappling as well. So he did put some real effort into this and learning some techniques of fighting. And I applaud him for that. And he did seem very upset in the ring when he did tear his bicep because he had Vitaly in big trouble. So my highlights of this fight. They started out, a couple seconds of just feints, blah, blah, blah. Vitaly landed a good left hook. Didn't really phase Larry too much, but he did land a good left hook. Straight right from Larry rocks Vitaly. Straight right down the pipe. And then a couple seconds later, a right hook rocks Vitaly. And then he backs him up a little bit. And then a right hook drops Vitaly in the corner a little bit. And as Vitaly is kind of on his way down to the mat, he kind of on a knee slip type situation, but he's halfway down. Larry goes for a right hook as he's down, coming from the bottom. And that's where he tore his bicep. And Vitaly went down, but the ref tore Larry Wheels off of Vitaly, and Vitaly got up at a 7 or 8 count. And then that's when they went over to Larry, and Larry said he tore his bicep. And that was about it. But when the ref pulled Larry off of Vitaly because Vitaly went down, they did not stop the fight right then. But at that moment, they had 1 minute and 56 seconds left in a 3-minute round. I think they actually stopped it at 120 or 119, but they weren't actually fighting for that period. They actually stopped fighting at 1 minute and 56, so it was 1 minute and 4 seconds of actually fighting. And I will put a picture up here to show you. It looks pretty bad. I don't know where this is about to. There it is. Okay. This was Larry's bicep. Obviously, it does not look great. It looks terrible. And if you're not familiar with Larry, he did tear his left bicep a couple years ago in powerlifting, and it pretty much looks the same as this now. His left bicep already looks like this because he did not get surgery on it to I don't know exactly how this works. I don't know how it can heal without being reattached, but I did see an interview after the fight. He said he was not going to get surgery on this bicep either. It's a 3 or 4 week healing process. I don't know. That seems kind of fast. I don't know the technicalities of it, but this is it. It looks really bad. Also, can pull up another image here of a closer shot. like you can see it just like it's droopy. Like it's just like it's just hanging down a lot right here. I'm going to move me over here. Fuck Vitali. You don't need to see him. So, yeah, it did end no contest at round 1. It was a no contest, so they left it there. But this was it. You could tell it's just tore right here, and it's kind of drooping down. This is exactly how his other bicep looks, by the way. It tore like the exact same way. But I think he tore it doing powerlifting. He didn't tear it doing this because, like I said, it was a number of years ago. But that's it. It's just kind of like droopy. So that was the end of that. Larry did seem very upset and very mad that it happened because he was winning. I mean, this was pretty much going to be a walk in the park for him. It wasn't going to make it out of round. I did not see this getting out of round 1. He was anytime he hit Vitali showed damage, like it hurt him. So the other thing I want to say is the commentating of this event was very unique, which I liked. I'll put it up here on screen for you. Wow, that's really small. So this was the commentary for the event. This is the only person I've yet to figure out who this is. I tried to look it up. I tried Instagram. I tried the Brand Risk page to see who the commentators were. I could not find any information anywhere. All they said was it was Adin Ross, which is Adin right here in the middle. But I do not know who this person is. This is the only person I've not figured out who they are. This is Rampage Jackson, Adin Ross. This is Mike Maljack from the Impulsive podcast. And I'm not for sure. I have no confirmation. But this looks and sounds exactly like Charleston White. If y'all don't know who Charleston White is, I can look it up here and show you. I'll pull up a picture of Charleston White. I'm almost certain, based off his voice and what he looks like, that is Charleston White. This is Charleston White right here. This guy, move my face out of the way. That's Charleston White. So I'm pretty sure that person on the left right there, right here on the right, I'm pretty sure that is Charleston White. It looks and sounds exactly like him. Mike Maljack, Adin Ross, Rampage Jackson. I do not know who this person is. If you know, leave it in the comments because I do not know. And I'm kind of interested to know who it is because I listened to his voice and all that. I couldn't figure out exactly who it was. But yeah, like I said, I'm impressed with how well Larry did fight. I thought he looked pretty good for how big. He's 244 pounds of solid muscle. I didn't think he looked all that bad. I really didn't. Now, is his cardio going to be great? Probably not. But he did look more skilled and stronger than Vitali, and he definitely did more damage to Vitali. So, very interesting. Maybe he'll heal up and they'll run it back. Maybe not. I know these guys did have some kind of actual beef. So I don't know if they'll run it back or not. I have not heard anything or seen anything about it. But I thought it was entertaining. It was good. And there were a bunch of other kind of dumb fights on that card that I don't necessarily feel like going over because I did not watch them, and I'm probably not going to watch them. But if we want to go through the card, the main event was Austin McBroom versus FaZe Temper. I do not know either one of these guys. Larry Wheels and Vitali was the co-main, and the prelims were Bob Minery and YK Osiris, Super Hot Fire versus Supreme Patty, Julian Newman versus 30, Kodiak Red from the Island Boys and Jeremy Smith, Yira and Tessa, No Neck Jay, which is fucking hilarious. I might have to look that up and watch it, and Shane Chance, and Gabe Silva and Kimbo Slice Jr. Y'all, is that actually Kimbo Slice's son? Because it actually looks like him. I didn't know of this guy. But he's 0-1. And he lost. So, fuck him. Antonio Williams and Patrick O'Keen, and Chibu and BMA Musa, and Anthony Taylor versus AP the Fighter. So that was the card. Like I said, I did not watch any of it except the Larry Wheels and Vitaly fight. But, like I said, I was impressed. He did better than I thought. So, I know he doesn't train to fight. He never has, grappling, striking, anything. And you don't see many fighters that are like bodybuilder built like he is. But he did say in a post-fight interview that he was not going to go back to bodybuilding. He has no intention of getting back on a bodybuilding stage because he did get on I think he did get on a stage like twice in the past year or two. So he was kind of moving into that, but now he's moved away from it. On his social medias, you see him doing more athletic training, grappling, jiu-jitsu, MMA. Everybody's beating him up, which I applaud him for that. It takes balls to get online and get beat up by people smaller than you and admit that you have no skill. But he's also trying, guys. He's also putting in effort. Like I said, he quit lifting weights predominantly the last couple months and just focused on striking and boxing for this fight. So he put in effort. He was lean. I mean, he looked like a good 244. But, yeah, man, it's just, you're not good at what you don't train at. He's not just going to come from bodybuilding, powerlifting where you're stiff, you have a lot of muscle mass, and come over here and just be like a fast twitch muscle fiber savage with good cardio. It's not going to happen that quick. It might happen one day. I think Larry's like early 40s, mid 40s, but it's possible, and he's showing I think it's good for him. I applaud him. It takes balls to get online and do what he does, to learn, be humble, willing to go for it, and I want him to keep doing it. I want him to recover from the bicep tear, and I want him to get back to it. I think this is cool for Larry. I really do. Because, like I said, he looked better than I thought he would. He did not look amazing. He looked stiff, plotty, but he did look better than I thought he would. So, I'm going to leave it there. We're already at 12 minutes. That's what I thought. If you want to go over it and watch it, go watch it. It was last night. Like I said, I did not watch the whole event. I just watched this fight. It's the only one I was interested in. But go give it a watch. Tell me what you think. If you know this other commentator's name or you know who that is, man, let me know in the comments. I'm curious who that guy was. So, yeah. I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments. Go watch the fight. Applaud for Larry Wheels. Hopefully he gets back right, recovers, and he gets back in there and shows them who's boss. So, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.